All right, so in the interest of clearing up a couple of private emails in regards to my views on Sam Kwok doing or endorsing a wooden dummy trainer that has movable arms on one of the Wing Chun forums. A couple of people sent me these private emails of Sam Kwok doing this video, and he was manipulating these arms on a dummy that bent. And a lot of people in the past have asked me, why don't you use those? What is your views on that? And I thought I would clear this up. Yes, I have met and trained with Sam. He did a Chicago seminar back in 2008, I believe, 8 or 9. I was his dummy for the entire 8-hour seminars. He paid me a massive compliment to my Sifu, who had said that he's got really good Wing Chun, and I like that. So I could say a lot about Sam Kwok. I like him a lot personally. He's taller than me, and my school that was led by the Sifu I was under, which was one of Sam's top United States representatives. It was a Chisao school. So everything that we did was based off of Chisao trickery, Chisao chess playing, Chisao game playing. It wasn't necessarily for fighting. And that was one of the problems I had with the school. It was all about position and Chisao attacks. I was a much smaller person, shorter-wise, than Sam or my teacher, and a lot of the things they taught me did not make sense, which is why I left. That said, Sam knows what he's doing. It is what it is. He's under Ip Ching and Ip Chun. I think he may be only under Ip Chung at this point. But the point of the wooden dummy trainer tools that do not have bendable arms. It is a very common and well-known fact in Wing Chun at this point that Wing Chun is taught backwards. Right? The first form should really be taught in the first and then reevaluated at the end, which is what good schools do. The third form, everybody tries to get towards the third form, Bilji, which is emergency techniques. The last time I checked in any kind of fight, every technique is an emergency technique. Why are you so concentrated on learning how to get out of jammed up position and regaining a center line and whatnot, when if you embrace the idea of always going forward first and always tracking that center line to begin with, you'd see the beauty of Wing Chun in its simplicity. When we strive and obsess to get to those points in Wing Chun of, let's get to the wooden dummy, which is an amazing tool, and let's get to Bilji, and let's get to the pull form, and get to the knives, and get to the energetics, and get to all that, you miss the practicality of what Wing Chun is, and that's where Wing Chun gets a bad name. So I think it's a bad idea if you're introducing a tool with bendable appendages to a beginner student, because they're going to have the false sense of reality of like clearing an object instead of meeting a force, how that force affects you, and then you moving around that object, which is part of what the wooden dummy does. The wooden dummy doesn't have movable arms because you can't move it out of the way, muscle-wise. You have to hit an obstruction and follow that obstruction to the core. A dummy with bendable arms won't teach you that. It'll teach you, I can clear anything. And I'll show you on a future video with Adam how a guy who's 6'4", 250 pounds, how even as strong as I am, it's difficult for me to jam and gum-sow him in and attack. So I have to meet something, have a muscled force come back in, clear that line, and go around it. Use a yun-sao, use your footwork, use the rest of your body. The problem with Wing Chun that we don't address is we don't take the time to benefit from studying the first form, studying that center line punch, constantly going forward, really feeling the beauty of what we're doing. All the drills that we do are for self-perfection. If you know yourself, and in every fight you're going to win 50% or 50% of the fights because you know yourself. You know your enemy, you win both fights, right? That's the whole Sun Tzu, Art of War kind of thing that I'm paraphrasing. But my point is if you are focusing on beating everyone out there instead of perfecting yourself, you're going to find yourself at a massive disadvantage. So if you're a seasoned Wing Chun guy and you kind of understand it, you want to be a little bit more creative in your drill. Yes, I think those kind of tools are great. For me, I don't use them because I want to maintain the pure concept of my forward intent and not a falsehood, and go back to the years I spent where just Chisao was a game. Chisao has to be, a purpose for fighting context, if you will. And I know this is long-winded, but my point is, when someone like that, like a grandmaster, makes a video about that and it gets released, whoever's releasing it has to preface this by saying, this is a tool. This is not the ultimate Wing Chun trainer, and it doesn't substitute the wooden dummy. It doesn't substitute the second form, Chum Q, which is not seeking the bridge, from you to a person. It's seeking the bridge between your upper half and your lower half and moving those together. And the first form, which is the most invaluable tool in Wing Chun. The first form is absolutely everything, and I think the Wing Chun is taught backwards. And if I had my way, I would recommend people teach Bilji first, then the dummy, then Chum Q, and then first form, but we don't do it that way. So that is what it is. That's my 2 cents on that video. I hope that makes sense.